the shocking claims by the lead singer of The Calling, who says he was kidnapped and beaten. You know Alex Band and The Calling from their huge hit song, Wherever You Will Go. Well, they were just about to make a major announcement about a comeback when Alex Band says that two guys grabbed him in Michigan at 3 in the morning, right where he had just performed. They threw him in a van and beat him to a pulp. Well, today, Showbiz Tonight obtained these photos of the injuries Alex says he suffered during this ordeal. But of course, right away, as you might imagine, there were some disturbing questions about whether this was just some kind of a publicity stunt tied to the comeback. Showbiz Tonight bringing you this exclusive interview that Alex Band just did with CNN's Tori Dunnan, calling claims of a hoax nonsense.
I can't help that in my first shows, this just happened to me. I didn't kidnap myself or beat the crap out of myself. So the whole hoax thing is honestly kind of disgusting to even think about or hear. Two guys grabbed either shoulder and pulled me into like a van. The first thing I was greeted with was a police baton to the face. They smacked my face, and that's why I got all here. I couldn't see out of his eye. This was all swollen here, nose laceration, teeth. Then I got, I'm not going to show it because it's gross, but stitches in here. So I got all cut inside my mouth. The guy actually said, "I'm sorry I have to do this." And so he put the gun at my head, and he was going to kill me. And he asked me again to give me him money. I said, I was like, "Bring me back to my hotel." I was like, "I will find every dollar I can, dude. Please don't kill me." And at this point, I was crying. You know, I'll admit it. I was scared, and I was pleading for my life. But then it occurred to me, I was like, you know, I just found out like a couple weeks ago that I'm going to be a dad.
So what did they do when you said?
He said, "It's your lucky day," and he kicked me out of the car onto the train tracks. And that's when I hit the tracks and I fractured the bone in my lower spine. And then I was unconscious. And they left. So he didn't kill me.
Wow. I mean, how completely terrifying. And that is what he exclusively told CNN's Tori Dunnan. Tori joining me tonight from Hollywood. So I'm watching Alex there, and you know, he seems pretty beat up. He seems very aware of the fact that because his abduction happened nearly at the same time that his band was announcing their comeback, that some people do think this might be a hoax. But you sat there right across from him. Did he seem believable to you?
Well, you know, AJ, I think ultimately that's going to be up to the public to decide. But as you mentioned, he definitely realizes the irony and the timing behind all of this. And one of the main reasons why he wanted to do this interview, AJ, is that he wanted to sit down and address the allegations that all of this was a hoax. Another thing that he did want to point out is that because he's back out in the public eye, that he's not sitting in his studio only recording, that he's out playing. He says the chances of something like this to happen would go up greatly. So he is flatly denying this at the point that it is a hoax. And as I mentioned, ultimately it's going to be up to the public to decide that.
And I have a feeling your interview has gone a long way towards helping that along, because I'm watching him, and I found him completely believable there. CNN's Tori Dunnan, I do appreciate you bringing that exclusive to us. Joining me now, my guest co-host, Nichelle Turner, tonight. So, Nichelle, the cops said today they're taking Alex's kidnapping story very seriously. And personally, I don't see why we shouldn't give him the benefit of the doubt, particularly having listened to him in that CNN exclusive there.
Yeah, you know, I agree, AJ. I don't think we should doubt him until we have reason to, or until the police say otherwise. So I think we should take him at his word. It does look like he was beaten up a bit. We didn't get to see him right after this happened. This is a couple days removed, but he definitely does have some bumps and bruises there that we see. So I say yes, let's give him the benefit of the doubt at this point. But what I want to do is actually bring in Shirley Ralph, who is now starring on Showtime's hit drama Ray Donovan. Hi, Cheryl. How are you?
Hi there.
Hi.
I'm great, thank you.
Well, good. You know, Cheryl, we see these type of crazy plots all the time on a show like Ray Donovan. But I want to ask you, does Alex Band's claim seem believable to you?
Of course it seems believable, but first let me say this. If it really happened, I'm very sorry. If it didn't happen, I'm very sorry. A hoax like this, I have seen it before. Do you remember Tawana Brawley?
Oh, yeah, definitely. How could you forget that? You know, but his manager says that he found him beaten up and that he called 911. And let's listen to a little bit of this call, okay?
And you're saying that someone with you was kidnapped?
Yeah, they were kidnapped and jumped. And
by who?
In the hospital right now. The singer of the band that I tour and manage.
The singer of the band that you manage?
Yes.
That's who kidnapped them, or that's who you have?
That's who I have. I don't know who kidnapped them. I need police to come here so we can file a report. And
How do you know they were kidnapped?
because he's bleeding all over the place, and I found him on the side of the road.
You know, if this is a hoax, this is one of the craziest ones I've ever heard of, AJ.
Yeah, no question about it. And look, he's got the bruises to prove it, and there's a lot at stake if you're making something like that up.